Hi everyone, this is Abrar. Welcome to Abrar Knowledge channel. Today's topic is on Minitab, formulae and logics. So we will be talking about more specifically. We'll be talking about the transpose, how to transpose the data. When you have a date format, from the date format, how we can leverage the month followed by quarter, year, and so on. So how we can do a recode, for example, numerical value to text value to numerical value, and how we can assign the formula, for example, low, medium, high, how we can give a classification, how we can give the classification like low, medium, high, or on and off, and how we can redesign the data. So that is on recode. And then we'll also will talk about the conditional formatting, particularly not only the coloring we can do, but also we can do if condition. For example, if some some statement is true, how we can just return that value as a text one. So it's going to be very interesting, that one, and followed by delimited functions. For example, you have a part number followed by customer number, to put together, you wanted to separate it, how you typically do the delimiting functions in the Excel. But in Minitab we can do it much faster without writing the formula. So in all of these things, so it is already there in the Minitab. All we need to do is we need to select the options appropriately, and then the options will come up very easily. So in a nutshell, this is my 45th video of Lean Six Sigma in Minitab. Specifically, this is 24th lesson of Minitab. So this is what we are going to see today, and please stay tuned till the end. You will get the entire message about transpose, data, recode, conditional, and delimiting. So all of these things we will be doing with the help of Minitab. Is going to be real-time example. So we also, I suggest you to have a go and watch the part one. That part one deal with creating the formulas in Minitab, and easy way to learn Minitab. So this is one where I talked about how to assign the calculation function and so on. This is a little bit deeper. This is we'll be talking about if condition. We'll be talking about delimit function. So please stay tuned till the end. You will get the entire package as such. So this is topic number one, transpose. So when all of these things, like whether it's a transpose, whether data, date, recode, all of these things you can do it in date data menu. So in the data menu, in the comment data, so typically what it will have is, so file, edit, data. So data will have a basic things, which will not involve any statistic. For example, you can subset the worksheet, you can split the worksheet, you can tag the worksheet, multiple worksheet into one, and you can merge the worksheet. Merge worksheet is nothing but finding out the VLOOKUP and copy, unstake the column, stack, transpose the data, sort the data, ranking. All of these functionality are available in data comment. So by the way, so we're talking about transpose. This is the transpose, rearrange the data so that the column becomes rows, rows becomes columns. For example, this is one typical example. Anyway, we will be doing in Minitab in real time. So this is what, for example, you have the column that need to be inserted here, and then you have two options, whether to create the output in the new worksheet, or you wanted to create the worksheet in the same worksheet, same like a pivot table. So the Excel asks like whether you wanted to keep in a new worksheet or the existing one. So you can choose accordingly to your one. And this is very important, which I like it in Minitab. For example, create variables name using column. For example, let's say you wanted to copy paste the number of days from the column to rows, you wanted to convert it. So that means if you do that without selecting this one, what will happen? So only number of days will be get stamped, like 31, 28, 31, and so on and so forth. If you wanted to stamp like and also the create the variable name, if you wanted to create, let's say this is variable name, month and all that. So when you select this one, so it will have both the things, labels and number of days, Jan 31 days, Feb 28 days. You can also select this one, month also as well. I mean month or whatever the field you have, in a correlated or a associate value also we can pick it up. Let's say you have a one field called city, another field called country, and you wanted to transpose both the values, columns to rows. You can do that. How you can do that? So the first value, the value you can just transpose, and then in this create variables name, then you can select, like for example, if you want city, you can just put that. So how it works, in a nutshell, you can either create a new worksheet or next to the last column, it will automatically take the output. We'll talk about that. And it assigns the header also as well. That is what we talked about here. The next topic is date change. So when you have a date change, how does the how does the Minitab recognize that particular column is D? When there is a D, that column being recognized as date format. So how to do that? And if you have a date format or time format, that can be converted into many things. You can year, quarter, month, week, day of the month, day of a week, hour, minute, second, tenth, hundred, thousandth. All these you can convert very, very easily. We can convert. For example, in this case, you have a date, and in this case, very, very quintessence is the store numeric column. For example, let's say you have the date and you wanted to convert everything into week number. You wanted to find out the week number. So what you can do is you can select, you can store the result and you can opt for week, and then it will give. So one probable failure mode can happen is, for example, let's say you're creating date format. That's the only date format you have. And you wanted to find out four things. Let's say you wanted to find out year, you wanted to find out maybe a quarter, you wanted to find out month, you wanted to find out week. Let's say four parameter you wanted to find out. So one possible mistake is, let's say you may say here, you may store the result as year, and then you may have a click here week here. So, but still Minitab will do. Minitab will not recognize this column. That we will talk about that. How to prevent it also we'll talk about in the Minitab. So the next one is code and recode. Initially it was called as code. Now it is recode. Recode also there. For example, any values you have, you wanted to do a classification of data like low, medium, high, extremely happy, moderate, and not happy. All these you want to classify the data, you can do that. So you can assign the values and then you can do that. And also in addition to that, you can also do that coloring and all that. Formatting also you can do, condition formatting. So in this, how it works, Minitab creates automatically something called recode. It creates the column, select the drop down to your choice. So whatever if you wanted to have the output at the same sheet and the new sheet or next to it, or append the same example, you will have a multiple options. You may need to select it appropriately. The next one is my favorite. So a lot of people do not know that Minitab also has a functionality to build the conditional classes like if else and or all these can also do that. For example, in my example which I picked up, smokes. For example, anything value which is zero, I'm going to declare that they are not non-smoker. Anything which has one and above, I'm going to say smoker. Or we can also change everything. So all these functionality, if functionality is very, very good in Minitab, because in the Excel you have to write the formula, you have to enter it, drag and drop and all that. But in Minitab it doesn't work that way. So in Minitab you just need to create the expression. This is called expression. This is called expression. If smokes is equal to, so there are two things to note. One is called single quote. If it is single quote, it is coming from the values. If it is double quote, that one which we have which we have fed it manually. So in this case, a double quote meaning like that text will return as an output. That is called double quote. Text will return as an output. So in this case, you can have like smoke is zero. Then we can say maybe smoker or non-smoker, and then you can also have in this example, if zero you say zero or one you say smoker, otherwise it's non-smoker. Like this we can do, but we can also customize to our requirement. You can also tell your requirement also as well. Maybe I can create the expression and then we can assign as a formula also. So this is what assigned as formula, meaning like entire column will create that as a formula. So the last thing is called delimit. The delimit is very important function in Minitab that you may be using for your business case very often. For example, let's say you have a syntax called proper. This is the syntax. The expression is proper word, and then you can select like single quote distance. It is been value been fed. So then let's say my column value is called name and one. That means first value it will return. For example, in this case, Abrar Ahmad. The first name is Abrar, so it will return. So next case, if I get two, it will say Ahmad. Let's say I have something called country and then city and then region. So if I give three, that means third one also will return like Asia, Europe, and America and all that. It will get region wise also. We can do that. So this is what very interesting about it. Let's do all of these things. All of these things. For example, let's say transpose the data, date change, and recode, conditional delimit in Minitab. It's going to be very interesting. So let's say transpose the data. So I'm going to delete all these one for the benefit of you to have a feel that what is the output and how fast it gives the output. Let's say these are all the two column I have. So why does the Excel, let me maximize this one. Why does this one has been denoted as a D? Because that has got the punch, month and all that. Month, year, all these, that column will represent as D. So number of days I have. So here numerical value I have. All I had to do is I had to transpose the data. How to do that? Go to data and then you have something called transpose column. So I'm going to give F3 so that it will delete off, so that I will do that demo one more time. Number of days. So I want where in a new worksheet or after the column. So after the last column being used. The last column I have used is C2. So the result will be stored in C3 and so on. And create the variables. Okay, if I give like this, let me give, okay. So if I give that, simply what it has done, C2, it just retransmitted to column to rows. What I'm suggesting is you can select something called create variables name using column. For example, this is the column. If I want to do that, so here you can see the output, different output. So this is the output you have got. Let me do this one more time, so that because two times we have done, so two output it has come. So very simple, you can go back to C2 and then go to data. And in that data you have a transpose and then number of days. Fantastic. And in the after the last column, so I'm going to stamp by month. So this is the output you will get. So labels Jan, Feb and all that, number of days here. So you can read transpose the data that way. The second example is date. That's my favorite one. So for example, this is the only information I have. Let me delete everything. The only information I have is date. From that date, I wanted to convert into month. I wanted to find out like 22nd Feb 2020. What is a month? Month is February, right? So year is 2020. What is a quarter? This is a Q1 quarter. Week number, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 or 8. And day of the month, and the same value we can change this as a text also. Like this, if we have anything like this, what we can do, we can just convert that as a required format. For example, so these are all the things which I have given this value. That means I'm going to store the value here. So let me go to data and then date. Since that column is date, and I'm going to convert into extract to numeric things or extract to text, extract to numeric things. So I'm going to give F3. That means it will clear out all the window. This is the column I have. That is what I'm asking Minitab to pick up the value from the date. And where I'm going to store, let's say month, I'm going to find out. So month. So you have to be carefully select month. So you select month. There is a potential failure can happen that even if you select quarter, it will do the quarter functions, right? So month you can select. It has gone. It has done very, even if you have any number of columns also, it will do the fast way. And then next column, control E you can give. When you give control E, this window will come up. So now I'm going to edit this one. And now I'm going to give year. So in the year, sorry, year I'm going to give, and then here you have year. Where is year? Again, 4 digit or two digit. I need 4 digits. Okay. Here also has been calculated. Let's say I wanted to do a quarter. Control E, edit loss dialog, Control E, and then you have quarter. This is the quarter. I'm going to store the result. This is the quarter value, and then I'm going to give OK. So Feb month, you know, that falls in Q1, and let's say April falls in Q2, Jan, Feb, March, April. This is Q2, and I wanted to find out the week. This is what the frequently you might be using in your business case, right? So give Control E. That means edit last window, and then I'm gonna give week, and then here I will give week. So all of these, so see that it has not taken less than 2 seconds, right? It has taken even less than 2 seconds, 2 3 seconds itself. It has accumulated, it has found out the value. For example, 6 is the week number 23, and all these it has calculated. So the same thing in Excel, but here you need to, in Excel you need to select and drop, select the array. You need to draw, apply the formula throughout the thing. But here for whole column, it just applies. Now day of the month I wanted to find out. So what to do? So we can just take up this one, day of the month, and I'm going to say day of the month. So these are all the things. What I've done is only now I have date, week number, quarter, year, month I have found out. Let's say I want also to convert this as a text also as well. Let's say month, I wanted to say, instead of 2, I wanted to say February, right? So what you can do is go to data, and the same thing, date, and extract to text. So that means you want the output to be text, right? So I'm going to give F3. I will pick up the date column and then store the result in month text. This is what I want like to find out. So see that, very simple. So it has found out all these value also as well. That is how you can do with the date. Let's do with the recode. For example, let's say I have 5 cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Kerala, Pune, Delhi, and these are all the rain happen, and I wanted to say how much rain happened, whether it's low, medium, high, and all that I can do. Let's say this is the output I have. I wanted to say whether it's high or medium or low. So how we can do? We can just go to data, and then you have the recode, right? So recode into, I mean, into text value. Let's say I wanted to convert into text. So this is the text. So maybe rain in millimeter, 0 to, so I will say 0 to 100. 0 to 100 is low rain, and maybe 101 to 180 is moderate rain, and then you have 181 and above. Let's say I will give some numbers like 500 or something like that. Excellent rain. So I want, okay, so this is what I have got. So now this is the maximum value I have kept here. It is already indicated like 234 is my bigger value, but in future I might insert this one. So I have just given this value. So endpoints, both the point it need to consider lower endpoint and upper endpoint. So both ends, and at the end of the current worksheet, I wanted to store here. Give OK. So the same thing you can see here, 0 to 1, all the, I mean, 0 to 1 low and moderate conditions, everything. Now I wanted to store the result here. I think it has given the results here. So since it is the last column, so it has given the result here. Maybe I will cut and paste here. So for example, Bangalore low and excellent rain, Chennai, Kerala excellent rain, moderate rain, and so on. The same thing I wanted to do it for the score also as well. Let's say I have in score, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or even if I wanted to change the value. Let's say Bangalore has got a good rain, right? Let's say 200, right? If I change it, you can see that here good, I mean all these value it has, because it is returning, it is keeping the value in the last column. You can just cut this value, keep it here, no problem. Okay, and then let's say 1 2 3 4 5 I wanted to give what is mean 1, and this is the survey result I wanted to give that. What you can give, we can give, okay, go to this one, control E, last comment, last edit window, and then you can give window or dialog. You can give F3 and scores. I will say individual values. This is the value I have. It has taken down. Okay, this is a poor score. Maybe need an improvement, and okay, I have not completed this one. Need improvement. This is moderate. This score still need improvement. This, let's say this is excellent score. I have to, and this is also an excellent score. 5 to 5. I need to sustain it. Sustain. Let's say this is the values I have, corresponding values. So you can give, okay, they can see that here. So this is, I'm going to delete this one because we have not done that one. So let's say this is the value we have got, one for poor, need improvement and all that. Let's say I wanted to change this one. Let's say I wanted to change 5 4 3 2 1, right? So you can go to this is the one, control E, very frequently used one, edit last dialog, control E, and then this is, I'm going to give, okay, this is what it has given. So maybe the latest one, this score. So for example, 5 excellent, sustain the good score, excellent, moderate, and all that. Like this you can do recoding, any recoding and assignment, everything. Let's say you have FMEA and RPN you wanted to say. So RPN having 100 is need an urgent action. Maybe R no need an action for until 100, or 100 to 101 to 500 you wanted to have an action, something like that. You can also have these sort of action also as well. So let's talk about my favorite, if condition. This is going to be very very interesting. Yeah, so I'm going to delete everything so that you can find how does the result. Because okay, so this is the 5 persons, 5 people. One is ABCD name, and their morning heartbeat pulse rate is 72, evening 69 for a person, and he has smokes for 2 times, and he's a gender male, and this is what the message I wanted to write. So this is, since I have to, this indicate the formula being applied, right? So now what I have to do, for example, let's say, even if I say instead of 2, I will say 0. Okay, 0, that excellent, automatically it will come as excellent, right? So like this we can also write the expression also as well. Maybe smoke, I will create one more form, one more thing, smoke. There is latest or training, something like that. I'll create this one. So let's say how to create this if formula. Go to calculator, and this is the smoke, this is the one which I need to find it out. If, so I need to write the expression, right? So if what is the value is smokes is equal to 0, then this is the code, double quote, what I want, good job, maybe I will say good job. Okay, or else return, please avoid smoking. Let's say this is what I wanted to give a wording. Okay, and then give double, you can give okay, and then assign as a formula. What will happen, the entire column will turn as a formula. So it says an error. Okay, no problem. So maybe, yeah, so smokes later. Okay, once. Okay, if you state is equal to 0, good job, please avoid. Okay, got this one. So this is, I have just not given the double quote because this is also need to return as a text, right? Double quote is very important. So I need to return that as if there is zero, say good job. If there is non-zero, say please avoid smoking. Yeah. If, okay, we identified the error code. For example, 0, good job. 3, please avoid smoking. 0, good job. Let's say I wanted to change this one. Let's say this person has smoked once. Please avoid smoking. Let's say this person is 10 times. Same. Let's say this person from 4 to 0 it has become. Good job. Like this we can also create any condition, like if all these if conditions we can create. So delimit function is also my favorite. For example, I have this one, um, you know, Abrar Ahmad. So how to create the first name, second name, and all that. I'm going to delete this one so that I can give a demonstration. So let me delete this column, second name. So maybe I have this example. I'm going to delete this example, and I will have this also. I will do a demonstrations to you. Okay, and maybe I wanted to find out the city. I want to find out the country. I wanted to find out the region, right? So okay, delimit function, how it works, the same thing in Excel, but in Minitab offers much greater efficiency than Excel. How to do that? So this is the name Abrar Ahmad. I want to find out Abrar is the first name. I wanted to truncate like a second name as Ahmad, and Muhammad Asim. Muhammad is the first name. Second name is Asim. Vipin is the first name. Dore is the second name. Sachin is the first name. Tendulkar is the second name. How to do that? So you can go to calculator. You remember the F3 I'm gonna give. So you remember that formula. This is the formula. For example, you wanted to do delimit proper word, right? The formula. For example, let's say all caps. So first I wanted to store that first name. Okay, first name I wanted to find out proper, okay, name, and then what is the expression, proper name again proper word, okay, sorry, proper word of that names one, right? So names, what I need to find out, one meaning like first name, right? One, double quote, assign as a formula. See, that's it. So it has been picked up this formula. So the same thing, second name I want to find out, just change into 2. It has picked up the second value. So now I want only the first value. I will keep it first value, and now I will change this one. I will store the result here, second name, right? So instead of name, instead of first name, I'll keep it like second name, the same expression, right? So here again, second name we need to give 2. We have given 2, so it has taken this value. So the last and final one is the you have a city, you have a country, you have region. I wanted to find out that. So simple, go to Control E, the same expression. So here the expression is I want to find out the city. Okay, and then you can pick up from city, in the city, country, region, comma 1, double quote, because this is the one quote, this is a double quote, assign is a formula. Chennai, all these from this one, Chennai, Pune, Delhi, Mumbai. So the second thing, I want to find out the country. Simple, just store the result in country, and then country you will find it in 2, right? The second one is a country, right? Third country, India. So let's say the third one. So third one, I wanted to find out the region. So region, let me modify it to region. That's all. So for example, even if I change some values, automatically it will just get modified. Let's say Delhi, again I'm modifying it to Pune. So automatically it has picked up Pune. So this is how you can do it much faster. I hope transpose function and date function, recode, if, and delimit functions are really useful for you. And we have taken the the quick demonstration through presentation as well as in the PPT demo. I hope this is very useful for you. Please do comment, and if you wanted to create any expression for any given business case, please do comment. And if you like this video, please give a thumbs up by liking it, and please do like, share, subscribe my channel. You have a nice day.